Hello.
Hey, so tell us about you and your production here.
So hi. For everybody who doesn't know, my name is Joshua Eton. Joshua G. Eton is my filmmaker name. I have been making films since high school, but I am currently attending a college. I am attending the College of CSN, College of Southern Nevada. Yep, one of the top colleges for like a film school, according to them at least.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, you have any thoughts?
Yeah. Um, why Pet Shop of Horrors?
So that's an interesting question because the thing is that Little Shop of Horrors is such a popular film back from the 80s. I mean like literally, if you really do think about it, if Little Shop of Horrors deserves kind of like a film in a way because um the thing in regards to Little Shop of Horrors is that it's one of those franchises where it's almost everywhere, but basically not many people recognize it as much as you might think. So I kind of thought to myself as a little kid, why don't they remake Little Shop of Horrors a little bit more often and outside of just the Broadway shows? And that's kind of the thing. Like this thing was so popular back in the 80s, like people bought merchandise, there was TikTok videos eventually in the 2020s. People just love Little Shop of Horrors. What can I say? Because it had such iconic musicals that could be replicated in such a genuine way that no other film can do. In fact, when I first watched it as a little kid, I was like, "This is such an interesting film because the songs are really the highlight of Little Shop of Horrors. Without that music, it just doesn't make it as unique. It just doesn't. No.
Okay. That's interesting. Um, when it comes down to was this was this the I guess with the story that you actually had to retell basically. Um, were you trying to actually just, you know, relive was this that movie, or were you actually trying to create your own idea of what you would have done better?
Oh wow, that's a complex question. I never got that question before, but mind you, that's almost one of the greatest questions I have ever had, actually. I will say right now, this was a film that when I went into creating it, it was actually both those ideas that you just mentioned. So basically, you're not just reliving the original Little Shop of Horrors. Well, I'm kind of retelling the story, but through a completely different lens. This film is supposed to be an adaptation of Little Shop of Horrors in the sense that it also has inspiration from, how should I say, modern day technology, which which in this case, this is a Little Shop of Horrors retelling that is meant for the modern day era. I kind of intended this to be, yes, a retelling of Little Shop of Horrors, like you said, but it's also a retelling in the sense that it's very modern. It has a lot of modern stuff that is supposed to be cool, hip, and relevant with the younger crowd. And I feel like that's interesting in a way because I've never done that throughout any of my previous movies. It's it's kind of like I have to appeal to not just the old audience who loved Little Shop of Horrors in the 80s, but I'm trying to appeal to the younger audience, which is why in the film, for some reason, or for example, you hear Audrey Green, which mind you, the term Audrey Green in this film, the name is basically supposed to be a reference to the original Audrey in the first Little Shop of Horrors, who was actually called Audrey too. But in this but in this film, I called him Audrey Green because I felt like it would be cool and hip and relevant just to have that sort of weird, strange name, I guess. And so basically, my example was like when the Little Shop of Horrors plant, Audrey Green is saying, "Hey, yo, dog." That's kind of like modern day dialogue. I don't really like do that in any of my previous movies. Like it was all old fashioned dialogue, which is kind of strange. But yeah, I kind of went for it. I was like, you know what? If we're gonna be cool and hip and relevant, we gotta use that type of slang in the film. It's gonna
Okay.
work. I suppose it
Have you
kind of.
seen the play?
Yes, I have actually seen the play at least clip it's on YouTube, unfortunately, because the thing is, I never actually went to the real play to experience it, but I have seen enough footage on YouTube to kind of get the basic gist, as well as like I did actually see the Little Shop of Horrors in Vegas. However, it was like only they only showed that one scene with Feed Me, and that's kind of where I got my inspiration. So basically, after hearing that song, Feed Me Seymour, it just kind of gave me that spark to say, you know what? This song is so catchy. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna make a Little Shop of Horrors remake if nobody else wants to do it, because literally, if anything, this franchise has still is still popular. It still makes money on Broadway. So if it makes money, why bother to just, if it makes money, just go for it. It just works. The concept.
All right. Wonderful. You said you actually make more films then.
Yes, I do.
Where can we find them?
So I actually make a lot more films than what you expect. However, the thing is like some of my older films, I kind of like don't want to talk about it. It's kind of in that sense, but here's the thing. With my later films, I am very passionate about it in the sense that they're all fan fiction films that are going to be coming up later on in the future. And and I don't think it's just going to be fan fiction films. So basically, what I plan on doing in the future is is making a bunch of adaptations, but not just adaptations. I want to sell them to actual studios. I want to market these things in a way that could actually make money and possibly get an actual audience.
Okay. Okay.
Also have like one upcoming project um that's completely original. If if you would like me to talk about it.
I just wanted to know if you had a website. So at least that way people can actually follow you
Oh
and
yeah,
see if you're
I
actually
have an
doing
idea.
more.
For sure. Yeah.
So feel free to actually add it to the chat. And if anything, thank you. Thank you for joining us this year.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, man. I liked it. Yeah. All the films were very interesting. Congratulations to everybody.